Now, I want you to notice here that Jesus saw two empty boats by the lake, and he saw discouraged fishermen on the shore washing their empty nets. And Jesus here used Simon Peter's boat. I want you to get this very carefully. Jesus used Simon Peter's boat as his platform. Now listen, Peter is a professional fisherman. He used Peter's profession as his platform. I want you to understand that very clearly. Jesus used Peter's profession as his platform. May I tell you, I don't care if you work for the government. Jesus can use your platform of your profession for a platform. If you play football, if you play basketball, if you're in the media, an entertainer, God can use your profession as his platform. If you're a singer, a dancer, a writer, God can use your profession as his platform. If you're a barber, a beautician, God can use your profession as his platform. If you wash cars and cut grass, God can use your profession as his platform. If you clean houses, if you clean rooms in a hotel, God can use your profession as his platform. He used Peter's boat, which was his profession, as his platform. He asked him, the multitudes were there, and he asked him, I need to use your boat. I need a platform. The crowd is thronging me, the multitude. And he got on Peter's platform. He used the platform of Peter's profession, and that became his platform. And I just want you to see that he can use your profession as his platform to speak to others. Jesus spoke from Peter's boat, Simon Peter's boat. That became his platform. Don't ever be ashamed to use your platform. Ask the Lord for the wisdom. But God can help you to use your platform, so that he can speak to others. And after Jesus finished speaking to the multitude from Peter's boat, Jesus instructed him then to launch out into the deep. I'm just telling you, you don't even qualify for a blessing until you let Jesus use your platform. My God, if you can ever get Jesus to use your platform, he will bless your platform. Your platform will be greater after you let Jesus speak from it than if you never did. And so something happened when he turned the platform over to Jesus, and Jesus showed up and spoke to the multitude from the platform. He got the greatest boat sinking blessing that he had ever had in his life, because he told him to launch out into the deep. You know why? Because that's where the big fish are. Big fish don't lurk around the shore. They are out in the deep. You don't find, a big fish can get stuck if they come into shallow waters. They abide in the deep waters. He says, launch out into the deep. I'm going to give you some big fish blessing. Some of you all have been dealing with tadpoles. And Jesus said, listen, it's time to launch out into the deep. It's time to launch out into the deep. Now, I want you to notice this. When Jesus spoke to Peter, he says, launch out into the deep. He told him, leave your comfort zone, but don't leave your gift zone. Leave your comfort zone, but don't leave your strength zone. Are you listening? Because he still got him fishing, but he says, instead of being here in the shallow, I want you to launch. I want you to go further than you've ever gone before in your profession and attempt to do something that you are already skilled to do. So stay in your strength zone, but get out of your comfort zone. I want you to go further because, you've been scared to really launch out and go. Sometimes if before God can bless you, you got to be ready to go for broke. You really do. So he says, I want you to, don't leave your gift zone. Don't leave your strength zone, but leave your comfort zone, because you've been operating your little gift in this little comfortable arena. But I'm telling you, God's stretching you now. It's time for you to create room for you to say, you know what, God? I'm getting ready to call down some fire from heaven now, because I'm sick of Baal and his prophets. I'm sick of all of this mess. If you give God room, and forget about trying to be politically correct about everything, if you just give God room and say, listen, if God is God, let him be glorified. But if Baal is God, let's worship him. But he says, I'm going to get ready to create some room now, God. I want you to step into the room. If you ever create room, if you build an altar, the fire will fall. You build an altar and put something on that altar, and the fire will fall. The fire doesn't fall until something gets on the altar. And we're waiting for God. We're saying, Lord, send your fire. Build an altar. Create a place of sacrifice. And if you need that to do that, throw yourself on the altar. You need the fire of God to touch you once again. Build an altar and throw yourself up on there and say, Lord, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. No other help I know. If thou withdraw thyself from me, there's a time where you got to realize I am the sacrifice. Didn't he say, present yourselves, your bodies, a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God? The only thing is that God doesn't want a dead sacrifice. He wants a living sacrifice. One that can think, one that can feel, one that can create, one that can shout about his glory, one that can tell others about him. He wants a living sacrifice. One that knows how to say, God, do it, Jesus. I give you room. Move in my life. Move through me. Think through me, dear Lord Jesus. Speak through these lips. Move through these hands. Walk through these feet. God, do something big in me. And then do something big through me. If you just, I dare you to give God room. If you just give him room, you will find God doing some incredible things in your life.